Hey guys, it's Ria here. Just wanted to give a quick little message for today, a little guidance from Mother Earth and energy, which is one with your own heart energy. Mother Earth and your heart energy, you know, they work in symbiosis. They're reflections of one another. And what these cards do is they're all just little guidances, all little images from Mother Earth. And they're just to help us to ground and connect to our own individual heart energy. So even though all of these messages and cards relate to all of us, they'll relate to us in a very individual way, in a way that your own heart will interpret and that will be personal to you. So today, I was asking for a card about victim. Like, we all have a place in our life where we play a victim. It's an archetype that we've created that might play in a different role in our life. Like, you might feel a victim of victim in abundance, or you might feel like a victim in relationships or jobs or health or prosperity or spiritual awareness or whatever. So we all have a victim. And the reason I bring up victim is I've been thinking about this, and I've mentioned before that my victim falls in the spirituality, and for me personally, what that means or how I interpret that is like people not understanding me, or in the past, just not being recognized for my own spirituality, or coming on like when I share it amongst family, I'm always like, you know, they don't get it, or there's like, I want them to understand, but they don't. And you know, so as I get into this, it just comes from myself. Obviously, all our victimhood comes from ourself. So I was thinking about this one day, and then that same night I had a dream of all these quarters in the church. I picked up a quarter and I put it on the pew, saying, oh, someone must need this, or I'll just leave it here. And then I looked down, and there was all these quarters all over the floor in church. And when I woke up, I said, what the heck did that mean? And then I realized that, you know, there's two sides to every coin, and it's like the yin, the yang, the good, the bad, the black and white. No matter what is on one side, the opposing force or the opposite, or the gift to be gained from it, is on the flip side. So to me, the quarters represented that which we have come to Earth to find the flip side of, the victimhood. The flip side of our victim is victor. And as I was running one day, I said, I don't know if I was running, but anyways, it came to me, and the flip side of victim is victor. You're here to be a victor over your victimhood, whatever your victim is. Your victim is a gift. Wherever that area in your life plays the victim, the other side of that is victor, and that is the challenge. That is the gift of the victim. And in the quarters, it was in church, because I think a lot of times, how can I explain this? That we might feel, as the human perspective, and if you're on a spiritual path or were brought up religious, you might feel that is your sacrifice, that is your something you've come to carry, your cross to bear, that kind of thing, just based on old paradigms. Not necessarily that it has to be, but it's the way I interpreted it. And it was in the church, because it is that victim is our direct line to whatever our belief is, whatever our religion, whatever our spiritual paradigms are. It is our connection to that, but it is also our gift to that. And the gift is that which comes to set us free or expand upon it. We've come to expand upon it, transcend it, and to become a victor over that specific subject matter, whatever realm the victim falls in. Like, if yours falls in, say, you feel like you have this repetitive pattern of, say, bad relationships per se. I'm just using that, throwing that out. And you feel like you're a victim, things never go right, and that kind of stuff. Well, it's also your spiritual power. Your victim, whatever you fall victim, where you feel your victimhood lies in whatever part of your life, it is also your superpower, because you only took that on and came to experience it because you have the innate power to overcome it. And as you overcome it as the human physical person, you also transmute that energy, and it's like diffuse it for the collective, for all in your realm. And that's really awesome, because as I'm speaking, I'm kind of channeling that, and I didn't ever see it in that way, that is your superpower. It is such a gift, and when you can look at it from that perspective, you can find ways in which it's almost like you blast it, the victim, with white light, and come to greater awarenesses, and surrender to it and accept it, instead of feeling bad about yourself and saying, oh, poor me. That tends to be the victim. Wherever in life you feel, poor me, I always got to take this burden on, I've always got to perform, I've always got to make up for other people's lack, I've always got to whatever, blah blah blah, whatever it is. Instead of taking on that perspective, whatever that burden is you're carrying, that is where you're a victor. That is where your superpower lies. And so go back to my dream, in the quarter, which is 25, it's 25 cents, which is a 2 and a 5. It's almost like the 2 represents the opposing forces, or the gift to the challenge, or the gift to victor. The victim is victor, becoming a victor over it. The 2 represents teamwork. So you have come to be a victor over the victimhood. And the 5 represents change. So you've come to change that victimhood, whatever it is you are living, where you're living it. You've come to change it. You've come to overcome it, transmute it, transcend, to expand beyond that, and to find the huger, better, the bigger perspective of whatever that is, wherever your victimhood lies. And that is also where your superpower lies, because that is what it's like, again, it was in church, so it's like your gift from God. The 2 plus the 5, the 25, representing the quarter, represents a 7, and that represents, the 7 represents divine guidance. So you've come in with that, of your own doing, from a higher awareness before you were born. So you're not ever a victim. It's just what you've came to experience in this lifetime. You've come to transmute, you've come to expand upon, you've come to become a victor. It's an energy operating in earth that you have come as a superhero in order to transmute it, to make it into a victor, make it into good, make it into positive white light and energy, and make it work for you, and not only you, all of consciousness. So everything was so significant, because you are God, which is also represented by, the church, and God lies within you, and you came as a teammate with God, your higher self, even though you might be blinded to all the details or understandings of it all, and you've come to change whatever what you feel your burden is, and you've come to bear that, but not to bear it in suffering and agony. You've come to bear it in order to transmute it and to become a victor. And it's really cool. So anyways, I asked for a card to help to whatever brings more into light of that whole concept, and it was this one. And I was running, obviously, as always, and it was just this little blue, I don't know if it was paint or whatever, on the sidewalk, but this perfect little blue heart. I don't know if you guys can see that in the lighting, but it's an indigo blue. It's a perfect shape of a heart on the concrete, on the sidewalk. And the blue, too, represents, to me, your third eye, intuition. So this is already like just yelling symbolism that through your intuition, you have come to transmute and turn into love that which you feel you are carrying, that burden or whatever it is. Poor me. Well, flip side the coin and find the love in it, and that's how you transmute it. But the message says, cast no stones. And it says, judgment from others can be a blessing in that it expresses doubt within yourself. This allows you to confront Confront and clear the blockage in order to let the light that you are shine more brightly. There's nothing to judge. There's only balancing and integrating the opposing energies. And to me, the opposing energies represent the victim and the victor. And as you clear energies, blockages, you're able to do that. And here it kind of says, well, judgment from others can be a blessing. Yeah, but that's just a reflection of your own judgment against self. And I believe that we create our victim at a subconscious level through judgment, through your own judgment of yourself. And that's really what this comes down to, and how you are a victim. And here it's telling us there is nothing to judge. There's only balancing and integrating, and that's how the victim becomes a victor, and it's through acceptance and love of self. So deep down, say if you have a problem with relationships or work or any of that kind of stuff, it's all just symbolic of some sort of judgment you're placing within yourself that you may feel unworthy of. It could be an energy you came in with when you came to Earth. It could be something from another reality, existence. And when we're in spirit, before we came, we don't have these issues. We're all whole, we're all balanced, we're all one with source, we're all beaming with light and love. But we chose to take this when we came in order to alchemize it, to transmute it, to turn it into love. And it's just an aspect that you've come to clear. But the root of it always comes from a lack of love or surrender within oneself. So say you are a victim, and like I said, relationships, deep down you might think you don't deserve the perfect relationship. You might be in the back of your head throughout the day or since you were young, and like it says, judgment from others, people telling you stuff about yourself that might make you feel like you don't deserve the perfect relationship, or you don't deserve to be treated perfectly, or whatever it is. Again, those judgments from others, even though you can say, well, how does judgments from others affect a little kid? Because a little kid has no judgment and they're put on that, but you still chose maybe to experience that in order to become a victim in that subject matter and to overcome it, to just experience it and to transmute it. So deep down you have these beliefs or conditionings or paradigms of stuff that somehow you don't think you deserve it. You're not worthy in whatever shape or form. But once you say, hey, that's a really beautiful thing, so I've came to overcome this. It's not truth, because it doesn't feel good. Anything that does not feel good is not truth, which was another card that I did, but to me it's something that I get all the time, and it was the feel good card when I asked for a message from Mother Earth, Spirit, to help ground our energy, or what we need to focus on in order to come to our heart energy. But it was like I don't know where it is now, but it was the feel good card, and I get that one all the time. But really everything in life comes down to your vibration and frequency. If you feel good, you're going to create that world around you. You're going to create and bring forth and attract higher frequencies, higher vibrations into your life. So everything does come down to feeling good, but you got to find a way to feel good about whatever you're going through. But that in itself, if you can feel good about something you're going through and see the higher reasoning and purpose, that's how you change it to light. You automatically, you're like a magician. You like already changed it from your perspective changes any situation. So that's how you change victim to victor. It's like you change your perspective of it. And it's so easy to one day and like maybe listen to this video and say, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then the next day you go back down into those lower energies, you dive down into it, but that's okay. That's all part of the process, because there's still many, there could be many layers to why you're a victim. Okay, so you might realize, okay, I never was appreciated as a kid growing up. Okay, that could be one reason. But then there's all these other little accumulation of other incidences where you have all this buildup and it's created a victim, but your superhero within you can burst through that if it is allowed. It is allowed to feel and go through the layers. So you go up and down, just like the new earth, just like the shift. You go through moments of being in 3D, then you're elevated to 5D, then you're in between, and then, it's just all part of the process. So don't be hard on yourself, because I tend to do that. I tend to be really hard on myself and say, swiffen up, Marie. You know better than this. But you know what? That's the beauty of the human experience, to embrace it and to take the ups and the downs. And it's just all part of being that light. And why you came here, it's beautiful. And nothing is wrong and nothing is bad. And when you realize you're here just for the experience and the journey is eternal, it's like you don't have to be so hard on yourself. You can laugh at yourself, even though that's very difficult for me. But so this is saying, cast no stones. Don't judge others either, because a lot of times when you're judging others, it's just a judgment against yourself that you're projecting on somebody else. Because those judgments are just aspects of you that you feel about yourself. Not that they're real, because anything that doesn't feel good is not truth. It's not real. And the worse that it feels, the other side of the coin is even that much more beautiful. So anytime you are feeling bad, say, there's a flip side to the coin. How can I take this and find the positive? And it's just through your perspective that you do alter reality. Because they say nothing exists until you see it. Even though you might be imagining it, you see it in your mind. You did see it in your mind, so bang, now it can happen in your 3D physical reality, the physical part of it. Nothing exists unless you see it, until you bring awareness to it, consciousness to it. So when you bring that consciousness to the victor, knowing that whatever you're going through, there's this opposing heightened awareness that transmutes it all to love and light, because everything is love and light at its core. It's just like the darker and worse something feels, it's just a more contaminated with non-truth for the experience of it, just for the experience of it. I don't want to say it's bad, because you did choose it, but the more heavy something feels, the sadder, the greater weight of the victim. It's just the more layers of non-truth there is to that. And as you shed them through the ups and downs, release, 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 you can lighten the load, and then you become the victor. You turn the turn of the coin over. And again, the quickest route to doing that is feeling good, finding the place of feeling good. Even if you're not thinking about that problem, if you go to a place of feeling good, whatever it is, maybe you like going out dancing, maybe you want to go out to eat, maybe you love watching a show that makes you laugh hysterically. Those moments are automatically going to help you to shed and release other stuff of being a victim, because everything is interconnected. And what happens is, in those moments, that raises your vibration and frequency, so you can receive higher guidance in other areas of your life that will help you to become the victor and to expose the superhero that you are, because you're all superheroes. You're all knights of white light, or so anyways, hopefully this helps somebody out there. And so what it's just saying is, just let go of the judgment and know that whatever you're going through, there's the flip side of the coin, I guess, is what I want to say. The flip side, you become a victim to victor, and it's all through your perspective and feeling good. Like I said, when you feel good, you elevate your vibration to receive higher information, guidance, because you can't really receive or connect with an energy that you're so far off. So the deeper that you dive into being a victim and poor me and what am I going to do about this, and in a negative way, it's okay to say, oh, what am I going to do about this, and asking for guidance. But when you're like and then here you become denser and denser, and it's hard to just, when you get so into that, even though you might have angels and guides or higher self saying, hey, do this or go there or do that, you can't hear them because you've encased such a strong blockade around you. But if you go out of this and say, oh, I'm going to go watch whatever it is, Everyone Loves Raymond, and it makes you laugh, then you know what, this becomes a little lighter, because the vibration isn't so thick and heavy. And then you go out to the beach for a walk and you see the beauty, and you become a little lighter and a little lighter and a little lighter, and then you create these openings for higher guidance and higher connecting to your own intuition, because your own intuition is a high frequency. Your higher self is a high frequency. Your heart energy is a high frequency. So when you can get in those little increments of feeling good, you help to kind of loosen up, soften up your vibration in order to receive. All right, guys, thanks for listening, and have an awesome day.